Hi guys, going to change gears a little today and start work on the AT-1 to CT-1. I've got some preliminary stuff done. I did sandblasted the frame and a lot of the parts, and I've got most things cleaned up, but the weather has just really turned not so good here lately, and it's raining. Been off and on raining for the last week or so, and they're calling for snow later this afternoon. So here we are, the 8th of May, and talking about snow already, but that's part of living where I live. I'll take you over and show you kind of what I've been doing as far as the cleanup goes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking the engine apart today. I've got it here on the stand, and I'm going to go ahead and start taking it apart to make sure that I have everything that I need. So let me take you down and I'll show you what I've been doing. As you can see, I've got the frame, most of the tin and the metal parts that get painted already stripped, working on the pipe still. I was doing both of these bikes when I did this one, and I got caught in a rainstorm on the TS250, so I've got a little bit left to do back here, but for the most part, a lot of stuff is cleaned up and ready for paint. The tanks, I've been working on them. Got both tanks cleaned on the inside. I don't think I need liners in there. The Suzuki had the liner in it. I think they just put it in there to cover up the rust. Actually, it's very little pitting or anything in it. But anyhow, I've got a little bit left on the Suzuki frame and the Yamaha pipe, and probably the Suzuki pipe too. I hadn't even took it out yet, but we're making headway. It's just kind of slow, and people really don't want to see me stripping and cleaning parts. I just don't think that they do anyway. So today I'm going to kind of get into this engine a little bit so I can make sure that I've got everything that I need. I've got the top end and all that stuff, but I need to get into this engine. I've never had it apart, so I don't know what I'm going to find in there. I've got, I see an Allen screw here. It looks like the rest of them are Phillips. So let me get them loose and we'll see what we got. I had one screw up here on the top that was pretty rusty. I didn't know whether it was going to come out. I thought that it was probably going to break before I got it loose, but it did come out. Oh goody, missing a lot of parts in here. Got an oil pump though. Missing lines. Yeah, I probably have some of that stuff, so that's not a stoppage. Got to remember that there's always a screw in this oil cavity, oil pump cavity. Alright, let me get you over here a little bit and we'll get some of these other screws out now that I've got it loosened up. So much rust, I'm just kind of afraid of what I'm going to find. But it's not always that way. What seems so apparent sometimes just isn't. There's the oil I was missing. Thought I had it out, but let's see, there's water coming out of there. It's pretty nasty down here in the engine case. This doesn't, at this point anyway, doesn't look too terrible. I'm going to tilt this down and see if I can get rid of some more oil. That's going to be a mess. And just a quick look here. Look what's going on right here. See, the seal's backed out. So this thing never would have run. Seal's plumb out on this side. It was probably sucking crankcase oil too. But we're going to use a different crankshaft, so that it's not a big issue to me. And let's see here about getting the rest of this. Start with our clutch. I hate to badmouth Suzuki, but I sure like these screws better than those pins that you lose half the time. But there's other good things about them too that are not as good as the Yamaha, or the Yamaha has problems with. This thing's been into, got the washer here is, it's got the second bend on it, and it's not even bent down this good, so. Take it off by hand. And we got our flat washer, thrust washer. And there's supposed to be another one there, I think. This looks like it's missing something. This is, yeah, there's something missing. I think there's supposed to be another washer there. Oh no, there they all are. They were just in the wrong place. Yeah, we got them. They had the thrust washer up against the this area here. Yeah, it's hard telling. They may have just gone in here and looked and decided not to do anything and just kind of haphazardly put it back together. I don't see anything else that just jumps out at me. We got a bunch of rust over there on that shift shaft, so that's going to have to be addressed before I can take it out. Yeah, we're going to sand off what I can here. That way, so we don't drag all that rust and messed up shaft through the case. Still a lot of it in there. That's a concave washer if you've ever been into one. So it's kind of a lock washer. It squeezes down as you tighten the nut. I think I'm probably going to have to get a puller for this. Yeah. There she popped. Well, thought it was loose. There we go. I did notice something when I had this kicked over. Looks like we got two broken studs here where the screws go in. I don't like that. So that's going to be a welding job and retapping. Unless I can find a good used set of cases somewhere, but those are getting hard to find these days too. We'll press on, and if we find enough other bad stuff, then we'll have to pursue the cases. It's on there. Just couldn't hold it very good with that tool. Sometimes it's better to get a glove. Detent out. We'll leave that little ball behind. Neutral safety switch. Went ahead and broke these loose, had to dig a bunch of them out. think we got them all. There's one missing there. That kind of bothers me. I wonder if it's stripped. No, apparently it's okay. Just not there. That's good. Don't forget your little ball that goes into the under the neutral safety switch too. Mine just fell out on the floor. All right, I think it's all. This may or may not need to come out. All right, let me figure out what I need to do to separate them. Okay, we've got our puller on here. Actually, it's pushing it apart more than anything. And I'm just kind of helping it along here. Let's see if we can get it to come off here without everything falling apart. There we go. It's kind of ugly in there. Everything I see looks intact and looks good. We've got all our washers all Still on the shaft. There we go. Crankshaft's out. Seems like everything's every engine is a little bit different. Believe it or not, I'm just using a harmonic balancer puller for a car with some 8mm 125 studs here that I cut out of some all thread. Sometimes you got to have one of those fancy engine separator things. Sometimes you got to make one, like I did in the TC 125 Suzuki series. But in this case, the best thing I had on hand was just a harmonic balancer puller. That right there. And just cut some 8mm studs here to pull it apart, or push it apart actually in this case. I don't think it's ever been apart, this far anyway. Got lots of stuff to clean up. Crank actually feels really good. I'll do a check on it, but we're not going to be using this one. I've got one for a 175. That's what we're going to put back in it. My only concern right now is these broken studs right here. Got one here and one here. If I can get those cleaned up good enough and build that up with TIG welding, I'll do it and then rethread it. That's the only issue I see so far with the case. So if not, I guess I'll be on the hunt for a set of cases. All right, so that's the disassembly of the AT-1 engine cases. I'll start doing some cleanup on them. I'll start doing some inspecting to make sure everything's okay. And what I may do early on is go ahead and try to TIG that. And if I'm successful, then I'll use these cases. If not, we'll have to hunt for some and find them. I see some on eBay, but they're kind of expensive, and almost every one of them has got a broken bolt issue somewhere. So we just have to do what we can to save what we got, and that's what we'll try to do. So if you like what you see and you enjoy the content, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscription. If you already have, thanks a lot. And again, thanks for going along for the ride. See you in the next video.